are back live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Here we are at the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Ricky Ruiz, who had a very impressive match earlier today against Flash Tojin, as you made it now into the quarterfinals once again. Ricky, welcome to the webcast booth. We have Lobo and G-Man, Team OC up against Camacho and Rebaza, Team New York. What do you see in this match? In order for New York to pull an upset, what are they going to have to do against these guys?
It's going to be a tough match because either way, both teams, they're fast players. Camacho played good earlier in the singles, and Rebaza did as well. So it's not going to be an easy match for Team OC. They're going to have their hands full with them.
Well, you can see early on there that Lobo thought that G-Man was going to be standing behind him, and they simply wasn't. Now, we saw these guys excel at the last Cup Series stop, which was at Marina Park when they won the doubles.
Side out, point.
And you were there and you saw it. Unfortunately, it was, I believe, against you.
Yep.
So you know how well that these guys can play, Ricky. What was it on that particular day that allowed those guys to get past you and Samson?
They were hot. They were on their game that day, and they had the home court advantage. They had their crowd there.
No, you only get one serve.
And they used that energy.
No.
They played good.
Just one person saves the whole game. Yeah.
Yeah, crisp play. Really good play, and also momentum they had at that. Seemed like that whole tournament they had the crowds, and it does play a big part in what goes on the court when you got a big crowd backing you, because you don't, sometimes you're trying to win for yourself, but then when you see that crowd, you're saying, I'm winning for those guys too, and that actually gives you a little bit of energy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's all right, good. That's all good.
Well, we see that a lot in big ball with those huge crowds that have been coming out supporting these events. You're hearing the voice of Ricky Ruiz, who was the inaugural year finalist at the Big Ball Championship here in Las Vegas. Jonathan Camacho serving. And that ball just ripped past Rebaza. Alvaro had no chance to get that. Lobo hits that ball with the left hand down that left wall.
5 serves 2.
How good do you think some of these New York players would be if they were out playing this form of handball more often?
They'll be very dangerous because they're good players. They shoot on the run, and not a lot of guys from out there we do that. We're more of a rally players. These guys shoot on the run, so they're deadly. They just got to learn the walls. As you can tell, Pee Wee, been playing a lot better. He almost took G-Man out earlier, and let them get accustomed to the walls, and they'll be good players here.
I can see Pee Wee Castro being a top 3 if he were here for just a short time.
Point. 7 serves 2.
7 serves 2 here. Lobo serving over to Camacho, then back to G-Man, back to Camacho, back to G-Man, who hits it in the corner. Gabino Velasquez versus
8 serves 2.
Team from New York. Now, Ricky, you play a lot of big ball, 3-ball, but also you know how to play small ball really well too. I know that you've won state championship in small ball 3-ball before, but what's the difference between positioning and doubles in big ball versus the small ball? The small ball, it's more of a traditional, one guy goes and plays the deep line and the other guy plays up front, but here in big ball, you see both players playing up front. Is there different styles in big ball doubles?
Yeah, it's a much different style because we have the court is much smaller than a regular small ball. When you play doubles, it's a 40 by 20. Right is just pretty wide, and it's not that long. So it's pretty much the left side player controls the front, the back, and then the right side player just covers he just digs, covers the front, and that's all pretty much you can do. So it's side to side. I mean, it's better that way, because front and back you'll never succeed here.
Well, you see a lot of the small ball players trying to convert over to get involved in some of the madness that is big ball these days, and you see that they come and line up with a guy way deep at the deep line, and they're just getting tore up by the locals that play big ball.
Yeah.
I want you to grab a hold of this trophy. I'm not sure if we're able to put it on this live broadcast, but this is the Players' Cup right here. It's about.
I don't want to grab it yet.
You don't want to touch it?
I don't want to touch it.
We're going to take the top off, put some milk in it, and you have to drink out of it. Now, young Juan Santos, he's going to have his milk warmed up if he wins that trophy. He's only 17, maybe 18 years old now, so he still has his milk warmed up before he goes to bed at night, as his mom tucks him in. So we have a curfew for his matches as well out here in Vegas.
Side out.
That was our GoPro in-studio cam that you just saw there.
Point.
Now, this was brought up by one of your very close friends, Dave Fink. I know that you love Dave, and
What's up, Dave?
he brought this one up and said that he believes that big ball players should be forced to wear gloves. I couldn't get a reason of why he said that they had to wear it, but what are your thoughts on mandating things like that, saying everyone has to wear them? And if you were to say that they had to wear them, why would you say that it would be mandatory?
Well, I mean, if it's mandatory, then you would have to. But I mean, mostly like no one wears gloves because you really can't feel the ball.
4-11. They can't switch servers, right, in the middle of the game? They can switch servers in the middle of the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a clarification here.
Can they switch servers?
Here's the rule on the serve. The first person that stepped in to serve in that inning has to remain serving in that inning. But
That game, right?
yeah, no, just for that inning. Now, side out, come back in, they can switch. You only have one double server. This is a little bit different than small ball. Obviously, in small ball, both servers get a serve. Out here, you only get one person that's able to serve. And the question that Sal asked, Ricky, was,
if you serve 2
can
points,
Alvaro
and you wanna
Rebaza
switch, no,
get 2
you
or
have to
3
serve
points
that
and
one.
then give the
So
ball
the
over
score is 4
to Camacho and let him serve? And the answer is no. You have to, once you start in that inning, or what we would call that side out, then you have to remain that only guy to serve during that side out. Sal felt that it was only the same server for the rest of the game. So if you and I are playing doubles and you get the serve, you have to. Sal
Well,
believes that
serve
you would
4.
have to stay with that server, for the rest of the whole match,
Sure.
or the whole game, I should say. But now you can actually get a side out, come back in, and have the other partner serve. Is that right?
5,
Yeah.
Okay.
serving 12.
That's the rule.
And simply that rule was created because, well, that's the way the players play in a lot of parks. And it actually speeds up some of the action. But ultimately, the reason why you only have one person serve in doubles is this is rally scoring. And if you've ever refereed having 2 players serve, it is completely chaos.
So it's confusing in Fresno.
Yeah. If Fresno can't handle it, we aren't going to do it. For that matter, anything Northern California.
6 serves 13.
That ball stays in and it's tracked down from G-Man. Nice dig from Alvaro. And Camacho looks like the weakest link out here right now, although he's one of the fastest players.
14 serving 6.
Ricky,
Game
why
point,
is it that you
14
love
serving
big
6.
ball so much, even though you are a top small ball player as well? What's the difference between the 2 sports?
Game.
I think I got more passion out for big ball than small ball. You know, my heart's not in small ball at the moment, so you know, I got into big ball more recently in the past couple of years.
5 minutes.
I find it more entertaining than small ball. I mean, you don't get crowds like this in small ball. You know, we have, what, 36 players in the singles? We don't get 36 single players anymore, 4-wall or 3-wall.
That's true. Well, that's a good point, too. When it comes to the actual game itself, though, there are some people out there that are traditional small ball players, and they'll live and die talking about how great small ball is compared to any other sport. I have people that will write these nasty emails saying big ball is just an easy way out. It's an easy man's game. It's nothing compared to the grind that small ball can be. What do you say about that? Why would a player just assume that without ever playing, that it's actually an easier game?
Well, I mean, small ball is a harder game to develop. You know, that's small ball. You have to develop your left. You see a lot of guys out here that are strong players. Their offense isn't that strong of a hand. So, you know, I mean, it's understandable. You know, small ball players think that way, you know. But I mean, until they actually play, then just words.
You know, I've recently picked up the sport myself, Ricky, and I'm telling you what, I actually believe there's 50% of big ball that is so foreign to me and it's very difficult to play that I think it's more rugged than small ball because the rallies are a lot longer and therefore it's a different type of strain on your body than the small ball. But then I go into the small ball court and I say, oh my gosh, this is harder because the ball's heavier and I have to do more with my arm to get it to the front wall because I'm off balance. But in big ball, I don't have to. But then in small ball, you can make a mistake and still be in the rally. But you make a mistake in big ball and you're not in the rally. Yeah. So it's like it's like 50-50 each way. One time it seems like big ball has the advantage and then small ball has the advantage. So
yeah.
In my opinion, if I were to introduce the sport of handball to somebody, it would be with the big ball because that's a little bit more, I should say, easier to introduce the game.
It is. Yeah, small ball's a tougher, to me, it's a tougher ball to learn to play with.
And if the sport were to make it into the Olympics, it would not be with the small ball. But with that said, you're still at a qualifier level in small ball, and we'd love to still see you come out. I know that your brother, Shorty, said that he was going to go to some of the small ball pro stops this year and try to qualify. Do you think that maybe you can take your little act on the road and head out?
Yeah, I talked to a couple of the big ball guys that are trying to, just to be a part of it. We're going to start heading out to those hopefully this year coming up.
That'd be nice to see you guys come out and try to qualify and then go in. We have the qualifiers and the actual pro event taking place at the exact same venue as opposed to qualifying in one spot and 2 months later flying out to another one. That might be two conflicts.
Score, 0, 0.
Well, they think, gave me a call and he told me that there was a tournament in Tucson, I believe in November. He said he'll be out there and playing big ball as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dave Fink's listening to this live broadcast. We wish he was here. He has his new baby Henry back home and taking some family time before that big trip to the World Championships. It's too bad they don't have 3-wall at the Worlds because that would be something great for you to go out and participate in, Ricky. And also, I mean, you could play 4-wall as well or even 1-wall. But all this time off is difficult for you, I understand. But how bad did you want to go to Ireland and be a part of that 2,300 person tournament in Ireland?
No, the Worlds is a great tournament. I went in 06 and it's just one tournament that you would love to go back to, but if the opportunity isn't there, then you know what? You have to wait for the other one.
We're back in here. Lobo wearing the white for Team OC. There's Gabino, and you can see both Gabino and Lobo up front. And Rebaza having to do most of the running here. Looked like Sal Duenas put a little mark on the scorecard there, so gave the point to Team New York.
Yeah, it's a weird call in big ball. The ball hits the side wall, and even if it will make the shot and it hits the other guy, it's a side out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's what a lot of guys are confused about in this tournament.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know how the tournament rules is, but I mean, it should be. If it's an obvious it's going to make the wall, then, it should be over or, whatever it is.
Right. Maybe that's why we didn't see any arguing from Team OC. And that ball was sent out to the shadow of the Stratosphere. And that's where we're at. It's the World 3-Wall Ball Outdoor Championships. You're listening to the voice of Ricky Ruiz, who started hot after the first stop of the season. First couple stops of the season, making it into the top 3. And then, Ricky, you had that elbow issue that kind of sidelined you. You took a time off there because you didn't want to compromise yourself for this tournament. And judging how you played against Chris Tojan in your first match of this tournament, you look like you're back on your game. Either that or you were just overly confident today.
I'm able to play now. I'm not, no injuries anymore. I'm fine now, so just got to go out there and play my game and hopefully win this tournament. Just a lot of good players here, so.
Now it looks like Camacho starting to show up a little bit. And that ball stays in, hits the line, and it's a point. You're one of the only players who plays a traditional big ball style with the sidearm, I mean with the paddle shots, but you actually will load up and hit a small ball shot, yeah, maybe 10% of the time. And it's really impressive, Ricky. You're the only player that we see actually hit sidearm small ball shots in big ball, but also have the ability the next shot hit the paddle shot again and have control of both of them. Other players that try to do that are hitting balls in the floor or hitting them over the roof. Like that.
6, serving 6.
How is that? Is that just because you were a small ball player to start?
Yeah, it's just my natural swing. A lot of guys ask me that, how come I swing that way? Just my swing. Can't change my game.
Well, I'm impressed with it. The fact that you can toggle between the two, and I've got this new affinity for big ball since I've been playing a lot more myself. And that traditional small ball stuff just doesn't work out here, but you're the only one I've seen that is able to make it work. And you know, just asking from those that are casual viewers watching at home, when you take that sidearm small ball stroke, the ball actually rolls out of your hand. So how do you do it? Because rolling out of the hand doesn't really work in big ball. Are you just hitting it with more power?
Yeah.
That's how. Okay. I guess the power will actually
8, serve 7.
overcome most of the control that most of us try to put control on the ball, and you just can't do that sidearm out here. You see that Camacho and Rebaza are holding true here in this game number 2 after losing the first one pretty easy.
Point.
That ball almost out the door. Instead, it's a point for Lobo and G-Man.
10, serving 7. Point.
What divisions are you playing in this tournament? Just 2?
Yeah, just 2. Singles and doubles.
11, serving 7.
I thought there was a part of me that thought that you might play 1 wall.
Point.
And then another part thought that maybe you might go in and try to play small ball 3 wall. You know, I could see you even being a contender to win that.
Yeah, my sponsor didn't allow me to play 3 events. He just wanted me to focus on 2. Singles and doubles.
You have to do what your sponsor tells you
9,
to do.
serves 11.
When you say sponsor, are you talking about Alcohol Anonymous sponsor or just joking?
Point. 10, serves 11. Side out.
And that's just the
Side out.
unfamiliarity of a New York 1-wall player, traditional 1-wall player, not
Score,
realizing how that ball's
10.
going to check
Timeout.
up off that side wall, and Rebaza gets hit by that ball and a side out being called here.
12-10.
Score is
Second
12 to
game.
10 in the second game after Lobo and G-Man take down Camacho and Rebaza in that first one. This is the men's round of 16. Looking over the bracket here,
Tired, man.
looks like you will be playing
Lost. Cheating me.
alongside Timbo Gonzalez. That's going to be an interesting matchup right there. And, excuse me, you're going to be alongside Edgar Oliver up against Salduenas and Timbo in the next round, which will be, I believe, filmed right here on this live broadcast.
Oh, great.
And you will be also up against the winner of these guys if you win that one. So
I guess I'll be up here at 8 o'clock, huh?
8 o'clock tonight if you win. I say if. Now talk about, you know, big ball. You're playing with Edgar Oliver. I noticed that a lot of the players don't always stay with the same doubles partner throughout tournaments to tournament. What dictates that? I mean, you're not playing with Samson, who's normally your guy, but now you're playing with Edgar Oliver. Why are you teaming up with Edgar for the first time this season in a major championship like this?
We have I guess a side bet going on who could go further between me and Samson. So
this is just fun and games with you two.
Yeah. So trying to see who will go further with one of our dinosaurs.
Okay. So he's got a dinosaur and you got a dinosaur. I see.
We get another ball?
And the guys that we picked up are
ball?
very, very
Big ball?
good right-side players. So
They went under the bleachers.
they both have enough to win.
Now, back in the old days, I would say 25 years ago, how good was Edgar Oliver?
He's one of the top 3, top 4 guys. So
All right, the score is 12.
So he's a legend.
10.
he's a legend as well.
12 serves 10.
Point.
Now we're at 13.
Thirteen serves 10.
A nice little
Hold
get right
it.
there, and there's a
Fine,
ball
court.
on the court. Now, one of the,
Replay.
talking about living legends,
13 serves 10.
is Goyo Tellez, and he's not here at this tournament. What kind of influence did he ever have on you? I know that you guys didn't necessarily grow up near each other, but he seems that every young guy says he was the guy I looked up to. Did you ever have those
Game
feelings
point.
about him?
14
Yeah, I
serves
mean, if you
10.
think about it, the guy's like 52 years old and still playing competitive handball. So before I wasn't even born, he was winning tournaments.
Game.
Growing up, I was watching him play. And to this day, you know, I played him a couple times in the tournaments, you know.
And he's still good.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up game number 2 as Lobo and G-Man take down Camacho and Rebaza. And you're going to look like part of the webcast once again after this one, Ricky, as you'll step in with your doubles partner, Timbo Gonzalez from New York. Excuse me, with your doubles partner, Edgar Oliver, and you're going to go up against Timbo.
Sounds weird saying
And
right,
Sam,
partner.
and it is. It's so weird that I'm getting it wrong. And then Sal Duenas and Timbo will be up against you and Edgar Oliver on this court in about 20 minutes or so. So get ready for that. I want to appreciate the fact that you have you stepped in here and gave us a little bit of the insights of big ball, and good luck in your next round.
All right, thank you.
All right, man. See you later.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's one every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
For 20 years, the Inner City Handball Association has educated, mentored, and served young people through handball. Young people that participate in the Inner City Handball Association programs have a high graduation rate from high school and continue on to college. Inner City Handball teens are good athletes, good students, and good ambassadors for the sport of handball. We need your help to continue our work. Inner City Handball Association is a registered 501c3 tax-exempt charity. Please donate today. Thank you.